Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of Empowering Voices. Today we have a special guest, Debora. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm wearing my shining bright t-shirt. And starting with this motto, we want to ask Debora to tell us about her business and how this slogan can be applied to what she does. Welcome, and please tell us everything.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Mara, for having me. It's really an honor. I love the t-shirt. Okay, can you show it? Show it to me. Let me see it. Beautiful, beautiful. I love it. And it's such a beautiful sentence, like shining bright. And before I go into the shine bright, let me tell you who I am. So I'm Debora. I am another fellow Italian, right? And I am a mother to 3 boys, including twins. They keep me very busy. And apart from that, I am an author, I'm a speaker, and I'm a writer. So it is one of my biggest passions to really show people how to use their words, authentically from their heart and their intuition, and really use it to market their business, to show their gift to the world, right? And to show up in a very powerful way, because 80%, 90% of entrepreneurs don't really show up, and any business really, they don't show up much because we're so blocked in our head. I don't want to be too much. I don't want to, be on people's face too much. I don't want to do this. And especially women, we're so conditioned to not to shine, Mara, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We're shining bright. We're so conditioned to dim our light, like Marianne Williamson says, like be, in the background, be nice, don't make too much noise.
Exactly.
It's really what we learn. And so women, we really struggle to, hey, to go and say, I am here, look at my shining light. It's really, really difficult. So I teach, use women and men as well to really connect to their words, to their truth, online and on stage. So I also do a conference which is called Women with Dare to Desire, and it's for women to shine and share their story. And Mara, is not about how many followers they have, how many, if they have a picture next to Tony Robbins or another famous person. They just have a story, and I give them a stage. So this is kind of what I do in a nutshell.
That's great. And tell me, shining bright is, as you said, I mean, we are always limited in our, speak up, to have our voice out there. Let's say that in a different, with different tools and in a different way, we do similar things. We want to give, especially women, although you work with men as well, but we want to give them a voice and tell them that they can, the story of every one of them is super important and very inspiring, and can be the starting of the hope for other people. So like an indirect experience. So I really, really believe in the power of words, and you do it beautifully through speaking and writing. And it's such a powerful tool that you give your customers, because once you go over those limits, you feel so free, empowered, liberated.
Yeah, completely. And like you said, like unleashed.
Exactly.
It is, and that's the thing, Mara, because sometimes what I do, I feel that I just give these women permission.
Exactly.
It's just a little permission. And I have so many women, and I do a writing challenge, which is, we go deep within, and women start to share their stories about themselves. And it's exactly how you say, because a lot of people think that, they are not, their story is their story. They don't want to share it. Oh my God, people are going to judge me. Yeah. There's so much fear. We don't shine because we are scared to be judged and to be criticized. So we remain in the dark, and, you know, we're going to go, who is interested in my story? Who is
Exactly.
interested in knowing about me? But like you said, your story, something that I say, Mara, and it takes a little bit to sink in. Your story is not yours. The way I see your story, it's a mean from which you grow, you know, you expand, you know, your soul, you came on this earth, right? So it is almost a mission, like you have lived your story.
Definitely.
Because you are, like, it is your mission to share the meaning and the message of the story with other people.
Yep.
But a lot of people, you know, I teach a lot of women to share their story, and the story, it's about their shining moment, right? Because we go through so much stuff in our life, you know, and some people don't even realize, and we think, oh my God, you know, who am I to share it? Or I'm going to offend this person, I'm going to offend this other person. But the moment that we realize that our story, it's a mean from which we can like motivate and inspire 1,000 millions
Exactly.
or more people. And another thing that I feel a lot is, you know, one of the reasons why people don't, you know, shine their light and spark, you know, their light is because there is shame. Shame is just something that really weighs us down, because it's like, oh my God, you know, it's like, I had this life and then I ended up there, and you know, people are gonna think, oh my God, we feel so shameful to really share our struggle and our challenges because we think we're gonna be judged for it.
Yeah,
but there is no shame.
It's constant, I think, in some cultures more than in others, but from when we are very young, we always have these like judgment of the others. You cannot do this because if you do this, you are judged a bad girl. You cannot say this because otherwise you are judged a bad girl. So we grow up in this way. I mean, like always, I remember I went, when I was at the primary school, I was in a nun school. So this was extreme, no? There was always someone looking at you. And I remember one day an uncle saying, why do you always walk with your head down? And then I realized, I mean, there was constantly this brainwash. They are looking at you. Don't be bad because they are looking at you. Don't be bad because otherwise your parents will be sad. So this was the extreme, of course, the religion and everything, but it's ingrained in the culture. You have to behave in a certain way, otherwise you are out of the scheme. And you create actually a bit of doubts in other people, and it's the reason why they are scared and they feel authorized to judge. So we should leave this behind because we are so unique and we have so much to give through our story. As you said, sharing means it's only a tool to give to other people, to give motivation, to give hope, to give even an example to say, I will never do like that. But it's a positive input anyway. So I totally agree. And
and the other things, Mara, that you mentioned is like when we share our story, you know, there is two meanings actually to really shine your light and, you know, share your story, and you know, there is the motivation that you're going to give to other people, but there's also the healing that happens inside of you.
Definitely.
And that's why, because, you know, words are energy, right? The words that we speak, the words that we write, they are energy. I mean, I used to have diaries when I was a child because it was a way of escaping a reality that I didn't really like, you know, so my diary became my companion, and the words were going somewhere, right? Because words are energy, and a lot of the time, especially women, we don't speak them. We don't, you know, we go somewhere. I remember, you know, this has happened to me as well, that sometimes I'm like, Debora, you know, let's say I'm in a group and I'm with my husband, you know, and I don't know, it's like people are like, oh, Debora, how is your business going? How is it going? And it's my moment of saying, it's going well. It's
fine.
And I'm like, yeah, it's okay. And I changed the discussion because I'm like, I don't want my attention to be on me, maybe being away from my husband and other people and, you know, things like that. And so I used to cut it off. I mean, now I'm getting much, much better and I'm really, you know, shining and doing that. But going back to the words, you know, when we share really how we feel and online and on stage, we release, like there is those unspoken words are coming and we, like you said, we feel liberated, we feel free because words carry energy. And I started my work as a healer. And I used to scan the chakra of women a lot. My clients were mainly women. And there was always some energy blocked here. And because, you know, we want to speak, like you said, I can imagine with the nuns, I mean, you couldn't do anything. So you try to speak, you go, you know, and then you
had to swallow that back.
And then you swallow back. And these words is like, you know, you're not allowing them to, you make them die, go back. You don't give them life. But they want to be expressed.
They take space anyway.
Yes.
Because they go back in and they're taking space for new words, for new energy.
Yeah. Completely. And when you don't speak them, they remain blocked. And that's where anger comes. That's where resentment comes. That's where jealousy comes. And they go back. And the first place that they hit, Mara, is the heart. So unspoken words, they're damaging to the heart. Because they really end up in there. And in fact, you know, I used to, you know, work a lot in here and connect to the heart because we feel, you know, sometimes our heart feels so heavy. Somebody hurt us, like an ex-boyfriend told us something. We didn't say anything. We didn't speak. And the words go buried here. And this heart is heavy and heavy and it really pushes us down. And I remember I used to give this exercise to the women, you know, to like go and draw like a picture. You draw, don't take a picture, or for example, people do it on a teddy bear or on a mirror. I don't advise that. I take, like, draw, for example, you have unspoken words with an ex, with your dad, with your mom. Just draw it in a piece of paper and then you speak to them. You really need to voice it. So you can say, I hated you. And, you know, you need to, you know, it's like, I hated you. And, you know, no, you got to go full on because words of anger are not words of love. And there's nothing wrong with words of anger, but they need to be expressed as anger. So, you know, words of love.
Shout everything and vomit it all out to make space for other words and other feelings. Yeah, definitely. It's funny that you say these words of anger still are words. And we also we tend to say that aggressivity or anger are negative feelings. They are simply feelings. Negative or positive is very relative. I mean, I could say that I feel very well if I vomit anger words because I feel relieved. So if you consider, they can be considered positive words.
Because it's their nature.
Yeah.
The nature, Mara. You cannot camouflage words of anger and say, I'm upset, I'm really upset. You know, it's like, you can't camouflage it. You have to give them their expression.
Exactly.
Like words of love, you're not going to say, I love you. You know, you're going to speak them with love. So these words is very important that they're coming out. And I used to give this exercise and I just said, do what you need to do. And then burn the
piece of the picture. Yeah.
That's why you don't do it on a teddy bear or on a picture.
You
it's not nice to burn the picture or in a mirror, because sometimes people talk to other people to the mirror, but you cannot see your face because otherwise you bring in the words to yourself. So
that's a very interesting exercise to be used.
Yeah.
And tell me, do you have a special slogan or motto that is the support for your why, for your values in private or a professional life?
I mean, there is a few, and I was mentioning to you, there is a few. And I wanted to share one, but if you allow me to share another one,
okay.
I might share two. But my big one is this, that I stand by it every single day. And it's very simple. And it's like, tomorrow is too late. It is very, very simple because, you know, people think, oh, I do that tomorrow. And especially because, Mara, I'm a very intuitive person.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, intuition is the voice of your higher self that speaks to you constantly. And we hear the whisper, and then we're like, now I am actually not right now. Can you
Not
come
available?
back?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, or like, oh no, actually, I'm a little bit scared right now because they tell us the things that we really need to do. So we stop those voices, those whisper of our intuition, of our higher self, and then they come back. And then you keep silencing them. And then that's where the problem starts. Like, we live a life that, you know, actually the life leaves us. Mm-hmm. Because, you know, we're so full on with fear and we don't listen to the whisper. And so I always say, when the whisper comes, like, you know, I did a women conference. You know, I was mentioning the women conference, my idea, I had a loud whisper, 6 o'clock in the morning.
I lost you.
Once I get the money, once I know this.
Sorry, Debora, we lost you for a second.
All right.
So, okay. Yeah, you were at the voice whispering, well, very loud, at 6 in the morning.
Yeah, about the conference, because, mm-hmm. you know, the voice whispered to me in that moment, and I had to act on that moment. I cannot wait, because tomorrow, you know, tomorrow the fears are going to jump on me.
Yeah.
So when you get an idea, no matter you say, I don't have the money, I don't have the time, my husband is going to get upset, my kids, what am I going to do? You got to follow it, because the how will come, and because tomorrow the fears are going to eat you alive.
Yeah.
And that's why people don't act. That's why I say tomorrow is too late.
Yeah, I'm totally with you. I've actually created another t-shirt that says not afraid. I mean, when you have a choice, you can go 50% positive and 50% negative. So you cannot be sure of the outcome until you go in. So choose, do it. Whatever is the outcome, if it's negative, you will take a teaching from it. If it's positive, you did it. So yeah, I'm totally, I totally agree with you.
Yeah, completely.
And what's the second one?
Yeah, the other one was this. It's a beautiful sentence that probably you know. And it says, when the rain starts, do not wait for the rain to stop. Learn to dance in the rain.
In the rain. That's beautiful. Oh, look, it gave me.
And I love that, because that goes together with tomorrow is too late. You know, maybe this idea comes when it's raining, when you feel dark, when you feel upset. And why do you have to wait for the rain to stop? You know, just learn to dance and listen, you know, while you are in that situation, because, you know, yeah, it's like, it's too late. We go back to that, you know.
Yeah, because we tend to follow this idea of perfectionism. When I have enough money, when I have enough time, when I have a very good relationship with whoever, but it's too late. And the moment passed and you just didn't catch it. And you can just say, what if I did? Yeah. And it's terrible to live with the regrets or with the what if every day, really. So jump in, both feet in, and make it through.
And dance with the rain.
Yes, definitely.
Completely, yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Thanks a lot for this chat. It was a real pleasure. I invite everyone to check in the post below or in bio for all the details about Debora, where you can find her and her courses and conferences and writing challenges. And well, I say goodbye and see you next week. Bye.
Bye. Thank you for watching. Ciao.